Live from the floor of the NYSE, that's a market open.
Hello, welcome to this trading approach. We are trading the Emini S&P 500 futures market here on the 5-minute chart, and we have been doing this for roughly 18 weeks already, which is quite a long time, extended period of time, and we will keep doing this so I can create the evidence for traders to see what they are doing, what we are doing. So it's the 26th of September 2016, and we already generated an entry here at 47.75 for a short position, anticipating this breakout. The breakout is defined again like usual in these areas, a blue trend line here, pre-opening session. So anything before 9:30 to roughly 4 o'clock p.m. on the last day. So when the last day closes until the open of this day, we define as the pre-opening session, and we take the high and the low of the pre-opening session as our breakout areas. We also do this for the first hour of the session, so from 9:30 to 10:30. Hopefully I will be talking about this a little bit more in the future, because normally we have been only trading the pre-opening session breakout. I do choose these areas because you can see more volume coming in and more volatility, especially in these areas, because many people are trading these. That's why we have opportunity as day traders to also participate in these breakouts. You can be trading anything you like. You can define areas of volume for yourself, but I believe for a day trader to find areas where volume comes into the market is very important. You can also do news-based trading, so for example any event on the CME calendar or any significant statistics that come out per month, every month or every quarter. These are very, very important days as well, and they can be traded equally with a lot of volume. Because the reason for this is that volume creates trends. So we want to participate in trends. The green line here is the target area. Normally I define this also on the chart just to show you where we might be heading. But still we are trading this just for demonstration purposes and a little bit of education as well on the side. If you have any questions, please let me know on Discord, because we have a free chat application. Or Discord is a free chat application, and we can shoot away openly about any questions you might have. If you're very new to this business, or if you're already established, please share anything, any information you like, and ask me any questions. So this was a very good opening trade, $1,169 profit. And I will be taking one more trade on this day. And the first day of the week, a very good opening day, 26th of September. It's a Monday, so normally we have not been so lucky on these Mondays, but this was quite a good day. So $1,600 profit on this first Monday. I will show you the second trade in a second here, just for you to see, because this is the main thing we should be focusing at. Just a quick trade review of what has happened in this week, roughly. I'm creating these videos for two reasons at the moment: just to create evidence that trading this market can be profitable and sustainable for an extended period of time. So hopefully I will be still doing this in 5 years' time, and I have bored everyone to death. But this is just creating evidence so we can show that later to someone, whoever might be interested, that this is actually possible to generate these kind of returns. So I believe there are not many videos of such kind out there, but still education, there is a lot to be found, and I really appreciate that, because on YouTube normally you can educate yourself quite well, but you should stick to one or two things in the beginning, especially because it might be overwhelming if you start changing around and if you get too carried away with too many things, because this might be very, very difficult to overcome at one point in time. So this is our second trade here, entry at 45.75 for this day. I normally trade 5 trades per day, roughly, or 6 trades. That's what the statistics should suggest. But if we achieve these profits, which we will on this day, I will fast forward here. It's a very nice entry, 45.75. So we almost hit our profit target there, the 50s. But we felt a little bit short, and now we make a doji. So my strategy suggests to exit this market. But even here I could see a little bit of weakness. So an exit. $1,650 profit. This is already what we would like to achieve in 1 month. So 1 month is the target is roughly, I would say 5 to 10%. If we can make that, I'm very, very pleased. If we can make 5%, that is also absolutely great, because we look at exponential growth over this duration of the year, for example. And if we can make 5% every month, we will be looking at a lot higher percentages later down the line, because it's exponential growth. So we take 5% normally away from this. Anyway, so 1,600 on 1 day. So imagine if you have a couple of those trading days, easily achievable if our monthly profit target can be achieved in 1 day. But be aware that this might go either way. This is normally the case. Tomorrow might be different, and we might stumble upon a lot of losing trades tomorrow. But I trade every single day the same, trying to approach the same levels. Alright, before it's getting too long everything, we will skip through this session. So we had our clean breakout here to the bottom through 44.725. Now we approach a second time, could be traded, but normally I would not be doing this after 11 AM. The time is here in the bottom, including the volume and the ATR. So you can see volume spiking up at 9:30. This is when the market opens. So because these videos are pre-recorded, I can skip through them quite quickly, which is good for playback purposes, so we don't have to watch every single second. This might take hours. Normally a session takes around 2-3 hours, so this is something which is definitely too long, so I try to skip and skim here through and make it in 30 minutes maximum. So this was an opening trade, and we ran negative right from the beginning, so we took a loss of $600 here. Not too bad, because I got out of this market quite well at 35, I believe. Normally my stop would have been hit at 34s roughly, but I was not putting in my stop or second entry, because I could see a lot of volume pushing towards the trend line. So if we see something like this happening, then we have to be very careful and probably exit the market, because I might expect a continuation through the trend line. But we reversed back into range, so my overall trend direction to the upside was still correct, so we are pushing up. Now what we want to wait for is more volume pushing into the range. So we saw a breakout, you can see here 33.25, and we made 2 ticks, I believe, through this trend line at the bottom here of the chart. So 1 tick is 0.25, so we made 0.5 points through this trend line. So we consider this a breakout. If we just touch the trend line, also I believe a breakout is to be considered. So anything touch or breakthrough is considered a breakout for me. Now what we want to look at is short positions from these areas. However, because we enter normally the market on bar close, and therefore we will not be generating short positions right now. We will wait for a bar to be closing, and then we look at the volume. If we see now volume increasing on one green bar, a positive bar, open is lower than the close of the bar, makes it green, then we will be reversing our position. So I'm in a short order, because I told you that I still want to go for short positions after this green bar reversal here. However, now we are caught up in a short position, not a perfect ideal spot. So we might want to get out of this sooner or later. Let's see what will happen. But I believe the next bar, not this one, but the bar following, will show us more volume. So we will reverse our positions, taking a small loss here on this bar. So still not too bad, but I see a lot of volume to the upside. So not a bad exit here. It's a decision I have to make on this day. I could have exited now. 39s is not too bad, but now we will see the market reversing, and then we want to be in a long position from this bar onwards. So you see more volume, and we enter long. The volume, by the way, is in the bottom of the chart. I told you that the spike in volume at 9:30 is visible, market open. So once we move, we look always at the last bar. So the last green bar shows less volume, and this one showed more volume. So now we reverse positions, positive. Okay, so first profit target is hit, the green trend line. We take our stop to break even 41.50. So if we hit this price, we will be taking out of this market without any significant loss or profit, just to be safe and secure. If we hit our first profit target, we will be taking the break-even trades. Our target area is roughly 46. So this is based on the ATR. I talked about this before. For our opening trade or our breakout trades, we take 3 times the ATR of the first bar of the session. So 9:30 bar, the opening bar, will define our ATR for this day. And then we take it 3 times for the profit target. So we push even beyond our profit target here, which could be a very lucrative and nice trade. But that's it for this day, I believe. 115, not too bad, because we started quite rough and we had 2 losing trades. Recovering from this to positive is a very good result. Alright, let's move forward. So this is Wednesday 28. Let's see what will happen on this day. I took a small losing trade here before. Maybe I can show you this. This is a break-even trade, the first one. You will see roughly. Well, anyway, so we have a little bit of an accumulated loss here. 143 is not too much. Alright, I think that's it for this Thursday. Or was it Wednesday, no? I believe it was Wednesday. So let's move on to Thursday. I'm not trading every day the full sessions. I just try to make it a bit different every single day, because if I would be doing always the same, it might be too predictable. But I will be changing that from time to time. I believe that also is very valid, because we already are positive in this week. We don't have to take so many risks at this point in time. That's why I'm also trying to eliminate a few of those risks. Now what I'm trying to do, which makes it way more complicated, and I hope I didn't lose you until now, because it's getting very technical. I understand that. I understand, because it is also overwhelming for me at times. But here now we have 2 trading accounts. So one is, I try to separate 2 things. I want to trade the same strategy on 2 accounts. One is 60-minute chart and one is 5-minute chart. I'm doing this because I believe I can eliminate some of the risks we take from time to time, and I will be showing this to you for the next upcoming weeks. Hopefully I can sustain this 2 accounts, but I believe not everyone can trade 2 accounts. But the benefit of doing that is that you can enter long and short positions and keep them open at the same time. So you don't have to necessarily close positions. Let's say you enter a long position here from 60s, or let's say short positions, because this is a short position, then if you would be entering at 60s a long position, you would close all trades, and that would be a flat, so you have no trades. But to trade two accounts will allow you to have positions open and then play with them a little bit here during the session. This is actually advantageous, I believe, and I will be testing this just to improve on the existing. Also, what I would like to achieve is some kind of a small hedge. Let's say a hedge means that I will be entering long and short positions at the same time, as I said, just to balance out the volatility in our account. So if we, for example, are in long positions on one chart, because I will be trading one account short, one account long, and I might change that around from time to time. But if we are long in one account, I want to only enter short positions in the other one. So just to balance out the approach a little bit. It might give us not too many profits, but it must be much more sustainable. It will be much more sustainable, I believe, and our drawdowns will be reduced as well. So let's see where we can go with this. I hope I can explain it to you more in detail. The strategies are still the same, and we will trade the breakout levels like usual, like before. The only disadvantage is that I cannot show you both accounts at the same time, because we have only one window available and the other one is on the other chart. So I can only switch accounts here on the right hand side. Sim 101, you can see that here on the right hand side, and I can change that to 60-minute chart, so you can see open positions on this chart. I believe we have only short positions at the moment here at 60s, but this should not be necessarily correct, because I will be trying to enter equal amounts of positions, more or less, during the session. But anyway, it's getting very technical. Let's not get too deep into this. I think what's more interesting, we look at the profit and losses here, and we will skip through this session. So 29 still. Now we are a bit negative on our total P&L, because we are still in short positions at this point. So that's good. The market reversed, and now we are almost equal on our total P&L. You can see that the first account minus 1,200, the other one 1,500. This is how I would like to balance these two accounts a bit over time. Let's see. So this is also an interesting area, because we touched our trend line and we want to break through this trend line. So this is what we normally trade, the breakout. But doesn't necessarily have to happen at all times. And what I always tell you is that we should look for improved entry points. So for example, 59s is a good entry point, or anything 60s. So you should be trading an intraday strategy which generates signals every 10 to 15 minutes maximum, rather every 5 to 10 minutes, I would say, every second bar roughly, because then you can enter positions whenever you like towards the breakout direction, or towards anticipating this breakout. Because if we break out, we see normally more volume, and we want to continue with the trend, then make 3 times the ATR as our profit target. But obviously this is not always achievable, otherwise it would be too easy. If we would be always able to sell on 57.50s, and then we make our 3 times the ATR, everyone would be doing this exploited strategy, so no way that can work. Therefore, improved entry points, and we should never enter on 57.50s if possible, because this is an area where a lot of volume comes in, and you might be stumbling upon a losing trade immediately, and it's very difficult to recover from this once you're in this position. But anyway, let's move forward. I believe the market will reverse from here, so that's exactly what I talked about. If you would enter on 57.50s, very bad entry point. Now we are at 63, so very, very good entry, very far away, and we can play for 54.50s here as our profit target. Even though we don't hit this, our stop is already placed at 60.25, so we are risk free, and we can even make a few ticks profit on this trade if we hit our stop, which we do at this point. I believe I will exit this trade right here. And the same thing happens. So we see more volume pushing back into range. We didn't make our 3 times the ATR. Well, I didn't mention that, but this is part of the strategy. So if we make 3 times the ATR, breaking out of the range, then our trend is not completed, and we will still be entering, in this case, short positions. Because we broke out to the bottom, we were entering short positions. But now if we reverse back into range and we close in range with more volume, then we will be trading long positions from here. So 59.25 long position, that should be our target direction, upside. However, now I have a break-even trade, and I believe I will be stopped out of this here break-even shortly, 59s. Let's see. That's why I always pull my stop to break-even after a certain profit target is hit. In this case, normally it's roughly 1.25, 1.5 points. Because the likelihood of the market reversing to the other side is greater than the continuation. Let's just wait for this trade, and then I will skip through the session a little bit more quick. So here doji, normally we should be exiting, and I believe on the next bar we will be taking out break even. Alright, perfect. So you can see total P&L almost equal to total P&L profitable, negative. That doesn't give us anything here on this day. So let's move forward. Breakout trade should be trading long actually here, not short. But it's okay. I had an opposing signal. So I have to find a way also for myself. It's very difficult because I get signals sometimes which are overlapping. So they go opposing the trend direction. That is very difficult for me then to make a decision which way to trade. But this is the decisions we have to make as traders. We can't get around of this. To get around this, we have to make decisions every day, which trend direction we will be choosing. So the breakout, I think 3 times the ATR was hit already. 3 times the ATR of the first bar. So in this case would be roughly 1.75 points or 1.5 points. That is actually not true, because then we would not have hit our profit target, I believe. But I can't see the tip of this opening bar here. Maybe it hit 58, 50s or 75. So then our ATR is approached. Otherwise we would be looking at long entries from here. But anyway, let's skip through this. I think we should be just looking at the profits and losses here for the moment. Because you can't see both accounts, it's very difficult to show you anyway these trades. So let me see, now we hit 58 on the first bar, so that should be 3 times the ATR, so our profit target was achieved. Therefore we will go to our intraday strategy and wait for the second breakout areas, which will be defined from 9:30 to 10:30 roughly. Well, I'm just placing these single target orders because I will be playing around with 1 or 2 contracts at these points, equalizing both sides kind of along the way here in the process. Just I spread these out a little bit because we cannot be sure that one price is hit, and these are improved exits and entries. So normally, for example, if you look at the 59s here, 59 would be probably normally the entry for all 5 contracts, or maybe even 58 50s, but I spread it out a little bit because we are not sure which prices will be hit, and then we can even improve on our exits and entries a little bit. It should not get too technical and confusing. I mean, there are only 2 ways we can trade this, long and short. Should not be getting too complicated here along the way. However, trading 2 accounts is overwhelming, I can tell you that. It is not an easy process. That's why I choose 2 different time frames, 60-minute and 5-minute. Okay, let's move forward here. As you can see, total P&L almost equal at this point. but we are in more short positions at this point, I believe. So the short positions are the top account. So once we push further down, you see that the discrepancy, the margin between total P&L of the losing account and the profitable account is increasing in our favor. So this is what we normally should aim for, that we are in trend direction in more contracts, or at least one or two more contracts than in the opposing direction. But this is, we have to make adjustments to this, and you can just look at the total P&L, negative and positive, and the difference of those two will define our profit or our loss for the present moment. So we are advancing in this session really, and at this point we are almost equal. You can see we were pushing a little bit further up, so you can see actually the total P&L is getting negative now. We have 3,000 minus and 2,800 profitable. So if you would be closing all positions at this point, we would end up probably with roughly $100, $200 minus here, because these two accounts would be closed at these prices or these total P&Ls. That means that we will end or have to sum these two values. So you can also, if that is not 100% clear to you, you can also look at unrealized P&L. You can see here the unrealized is still higher, much higher than the profitable, the negative one. That means that we are caught in more short positions at a worse price than long positions. Anyway, we could already realize a few profits along the way. So in this session, these are also added into the total P&L. But the total P&L will give us the actual result, the values of the session. I might carry this forward to the next day, because this is Friday. I will be leaving these positions open over the weekend. But be aware, if you do this kind of thing, which I would not recommend doing at this point, you need some experience doing this, and you need two accounts to do this. This could be quite overwhelming at times, but you don't necessarily have to do this at this point. I'm just trying to implement something which can eliminate a little bit of risk for us going forward. Okay, I will be leaving these positions open. Now you can see the net liquidation is in both accounts above 32, which is very, very good and profitable. All right, so these positions are still open, but total P&L is almost insignificant at this point, because we are at almost at our entry price is 66. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you before we end this session, because it's getting quite long, I understand that, and it's getting very technical, but you will get the hang of it sooner or later, and you will be seeing those profits and losses accumulating. So this 5,726, which you can see in total net profit here in the middle of the window, the first column or the first row, there you see our total profit for the last 2 months, roughly from 1st of August to now the 2nd of October. So this is roughly 2 months, $6,000 almost. I believe in the first 2 months of this project we made around $1,000 profit overall, not that much, and we had a few drawdowns in the meantime, but we are overall positive, roughly 7,000 I would say, but let's keep it at 6,000. That's okay, because it is exactly 20% of our total account. That's a good result, I believe, even in 4 months. And now we would be looking at normally increasing our position sizes to 6 instead of 5. But I will be not doing this at this point, because we will be implementing these 2 accounts just to test drive. I might go back to 1 account again in the near future, but just I want to try a few things here in the meantime, because this hedging might be eliminating drawdowns and risk overall, I believe. But $6,000 is quite a good success so far, it would be 10% on $60,000. Beware, because 2 accounts, but it would be around 20 on one $30,000 account. So roughly, let's say we are up 15%, 10 to 20% is not bad. It is not great, but we can still improve on this going forward. All right. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this session. I try to make it as quick as possible, creating this evidence for you here, showing you a few trades, talking about these breakout levels going forward, so you see where interesting areas for day traders might be. And let me know if you have any questions on Discord, or join me. I appreciate every subscriber, every view that you generate, and hopefully I can make this a very long-term project. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.